La parole est au président du Conseil des ministres de la République libanaise, Najib Miktati.
Merci. Monsieur le Président Macron, Excellences, Mesdames, Messieurs. Je commence en français.
Mr. President Macron, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I will start in French because it's the language of my heart and the heart of France. We feel it throbbing here together with the heart of Lebanon. In these very difficult times, our first obligation as leaders is to put humanitarian values and humanist values of fraternity at the core of our action. And this is why, before anything else, I would like to thank you, Mr. President, for organizing this conference. I wish to thank you for all of the initiatives that you took, you personally, in support of my country. We are very grateful to you for that. All through a history of several thousand years, Lebanon has gone through very difficult times and different tempers, and many times we threatened to go down, but still carried on with courage and determination. But this chaos is very difficult for us to get through because it carries with it not only the threat of the destruction of our country, but also of the values of humankind altogether. And that is the reason for which we are very grateful to France, which has always stood alongside us, to France, who's always has shown unflinching support, and the conference organized here today is a testimony to the friendship and close relationship between our two countries. Mr. President, distinguished guests,
today with a heavy heart to shed light on the ongoing aggression by Israel on Lebanon, an act that has led to the displacement of over 1.4 million Lebanese citizens, of which 500,000 are children who lost their homes and schools. The devastating impact of this war on our nation cannot be overstated, and it has left a trail of destruction and misery in its wake. The Israeli aggression has not only caused immense human suffering and loss of life, but also inflicted severe damage to the country's infrastructure, economy, and social fabric. The displacement of such a large number of our citizens has created a humanitarian crisis of unprecedented proportions, one that demands urgent attention and action from the global community. The targeted attacks on healthcare workers and first responders, with more than 150 killed, and the disabling of over 13 hospitals and more than 100 healthcare centers constitute clear violations of international humanitarian law and the Geneva Conventions, as reported by UN agencies and including the World Health Organization. The international community must act urgently to hold those responsible of these violations accountable and ensure the protection of civilians and critical infrastructure. To mitigate these challenges, international support must extend beyond immediate humanitarian assistance and focus on comprehensive medium to long-term recovery effort. This approach should aim to rebuild critical infrastructure, restore economic and social stability, and support sustainable development, ensuring Lebanon's resilience in the face of ongoing challenges. Mr. President, distinguished participants, what we as Lebanese expect from the international community is the following: solidarity and ceasefire. Lebanon calls on the international community to come together and support efforts that will end the ongoing aggressions and enforce an immediate ceasefire. Second, humanitarian aid and emergency support. The war has destabilized living conditions, increasing the need to humanitarian aid. International financial aid is required to provide basic services such as food, healthcare, shelter, and education. We need to prioritize stabilization of key institutions, particularly priorities, including providing support to local authorities in effectively managing the high influx of displaced persons and ensuring their access to essential services such as water, energy, and waste. Early recovery and infrastructure. The current Israeli aggression has caused further destruction to roads, schools, hospitals, cultural heritage, landmarks, and other critical infrastructure. International financing is needed for large-scale reconstruction projects, including rebuilding the transport system, power grid, water facilities, telecommunication infrastructure, and removal of rubble for reconstruction. Mr. President, distinguished participants, I would like to inform you that we have conducted a comprehensive needs assessment and have consolidated the findings into a detailed table that will be shared with all participants. Transparency and accountability are paramount in our effort to rebuild and recover. We will work in direct coordination with international organizations such as the United Nations, the World Bank, and others to ensure that aid is coordinated effectively and utilized efficiently to reach those in need. Your support is crucial in our mission to rebuild and restore hope in Lebanon. Mr. President, the loss of Lebanese civilian lives and destruction could have been avoided if Israel had agreed to endorse the joint statement issued on September 25th, which was led by the US and France. In this vein, the Lebanese government supported and still supports this initiative, and we call today for an immediate ceasefire. The Lebanese government trusts that a ceasefire will have an immediate impact of calming tensions on the southern Lebanese front and could pave the way for a sustainable long-term stability. It will open the door for a diplomatic track that the government will fully support. This track is meant to address security concerns along the southern border as well as disputes along the Blue Line through the full implementation of United Nations Security Council Resolution 1701. Resolution 1701, as it is, remains the cornerstone for stability and security in South Lebanon. The full implementation of Resolution 1701 from both Lebanon and Israel will safeguard Lebanon's sovereignty and territorial integrity and provides security on our southern borders that can allow displaced communities to return to their regions. The commitment of the Lebanese government to initiate the recruitment process of additional Lebanese soldiers in accordance with the Resolution 1701 demonstrates a clear dedication to the implementation of this resolution. The decision to recruit more soldiers is a significant step towards enhancing the capacity of the Lebanese armed forces to maintain security and stability in the region. However, the successful implementation of this commitment will require the support and assistance of the international community. This assistance can come in various forms, including financial support, training, technical assistance to ensure that the recruitment process is carried out effectively and efficiently. The Lebanese government can consistently show strong support for the UNIFIL mandate, recognizing its crucial role in maintaining stability along the southern border. The government of Lebanon condemns Israel's attack on UNIFIL and emphasizes the importance of international support for UNIFIL's mandate and calls upon the global community to contribute to this vital effort. The Lebanese government reaffirms its commitment to working closely with UNIFIL to ensure the security and stability of the region. Mr. President, distinguished guests, distinguished participants, the sequence of the stability equation is first, an immediate ceasefire. Second, full implementation of UN Security Council Resolution 1701. Third, deployment of 8,000 Lebanese Army Forces soldiers south of the Litani. Fourth, resume the diplomatic efforts to address disputes along the Blue Line in order to reach a deal that can secure long and sustainable stability in South Lebanon. The understanding on the maritime borders stands as a testament to Lebanon's commitment to peaceful negotiations and conflict resolution. These maritime understandings not only resolved long-standing disputes, but also showcased Lebanon's willingness to engage constructively with honest facilitators. In the coming period, and after a ceasefire is achieved, the government of Lebanon stands ready to engage again to play its role in avoiding further escalation while ensuring the safety and security of its citizens, Lebanon's sovereignty and the integrity of its territory. Mr. President, the cornerstone of internal stability in Lebanon remains in electing a president who upholds the Constitution, enforces the National Pact and the Taif Agreement, and back a new government to implement essential reform. I call upon you all to remain engaged in supporting and contributing to a higher future for Lebanon during this very critical time. The Lebanese state needs a fundamental rebuilding of its economy and institutions, and the empowerment of Lebanese armed forces. The rebuild should focus on nation building, citizenship, conflict prevention, reform, and Lebanon's national interest. Learning from past failures like wars, financial collapse, we must avoid missed opportunities and human suffering. A new path should start with a recovered and strong Lebanon. Mr. President, what Lebanon needs the most today, before tomorrow, is an immediate ceasefire. We count on you all, friends of Lebanon, present here to make all pressure needed to make a ceasefire happen. Thank you very much. Thank you for your presence, and thank you for your support. Thank you, Mr. President.